Welcome back to the Diabetic Diet Show. Today I'm going to make an Italian pasta. It's called due, which is Italian for two. Because in the recipe, which is my own recipe, you won't find this on the internet, I use two types of pasta. Is typically used when you have a sauce so that it sticks to the pasta. And that would be these curly pastas. Then we're going to have sausage that we're going to cut up. And this is going to be really good sausage. This is roasted red pepper and garlic chicken sausage. So I'm excited about eating that. We're going to have an Alfredo mix. This, once again, is going to be my own recipe. So I'm using a bag of Alfredo from NAS, but I'm going to add pine nuts to make it more like a pesto. And we're going to have potatoes. For the potatoes, there's two kinds of potatoes you may consider using for this recipe. One of them would be the red potato. The other would be the small white potato. So today I've opted for the small white potatoes and I'm soaking them in salt. Start out with what takes the longest, because these are probably going to be about 8 minutes based on my 700 power microwave, and microwaves vary, so start out low and check them, make sure that they're soft. Let's start out with boiling the water for the pasta. So water, and I'll show you a little trick about pasta. Today there's going to be 3 of us, and I do 1 handful of pasta per person. So there's 1, there's 2, and I'm just going to put in a little bit more of each one, just because a couple of us are hearty eaters. Now that I have that in my pan, especially if it's the first time you're making this, you can see how much of the water in. You only need to have enough to cover the pasta. Some people have 220 volt pasta boilers. Most people just have a regular stove or oven that only gets so hot. And if you have a whole pot of water, it just takes longer for it to go. So let's put that on there, we'll get that going. Then we can start cutting up our sausage. I like to buy the pre-cooked sausage. It's a real big time saver. And probably safer too, because then you know it's already cooked. Here's our sausage. I'm just going to cut down the center of these. Easy way to open the package. And you're going to use the whole package anyway, because they vacuum seal these and they stick in there real well. Then I just need to cut these up. Into small pieces just like that. This is a perfect meal for weeknights. You've been working all day and you just need something fairly quick. For us, it's a Sunday after church, and we want to be able to eat dinner. There we go. Now, potatoes. Potatoes have been soaking, and the salt water makes a good hand rinse. So you can check the potatoes. I did wash these already. As soon as I got my order yesterday, these were washed. So these are clean potatoes. I recommend washing your potatoes and all your food and everything as soon as you get it. It's much better to wash it while it's like this, which is called close cell, because as soon as you cut these or open them, then whenever you have exposes. I'm going to go ahead and pour the water out of here. Now, I need to purish those before putting them in the microwave. So I just use a fork. Because being a retired firefighter, I don't like things blowing up. Potatoes blow up in the microwave. And they also cook better too when you puree them like that. I'm only using a half a stick. Because potatoes and butter are good. The pasta water is boiling now. This is my little food processor. I had a big one and it was just so big that I opted to get this little one, and I really love it. It's my favorite. If it burns out, I'll buy another one. That's a product recommendation, not an endorsement. Olive oil, first thing with the pine nuts. Pine nuts, I'm just going to use just a little bit of a handful. By the way, all the measurements and ingredients are on my website, which is jamestdds.blogspot.com. And while I'm thinking of it, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, hit the bell, so when I drop a new video, you'll be able to see all my videos in this series. So I have that started. Next is the Alfredo ingredients. Make sure I make a mess, because that is my trademark. Someday I'll have a cleanup crew and they won't like me. For now, it's Barb and I, we clean up. I'm going to put a little bit more oil on top of this. Probably could hold my finger over the end. Then I'm going to give this a few pulses. I now have my dry ingredients ready. I need to put in some milk. And what you have to put in this is 1 cup of milk. So I just basically put my finger on the mark and then I fill it up. Especially I'm doing this without my glasses. I might mess up, put champagne in here and have this be a really exciting meal. There's my milk. Now I have to blend this again. Now let's put the sausage in with a hot oil very carefully. A little olive oil on top. This is grapes and olives, olive oil. That bottle's all gone. Time to order another one. This particular one that I'm using is garlic and mushroom olive oil. And I order this on the internet. I'll put the link to this on my website at jamestdds.blogspot.com. I don't get paid by anybody to cook or use their food, so The only thing I could tell you is what I like, and I'm over 60, so I have a pretty good idea of what I like. I've been cooking for a long time. Let's let those go. I do have that on high just because I want to brown them up, and you do that with meat to seal them off. Like with a steak, you put it in the pan on each side, and then you throw it on the barbecue grill. Okay? We will have to keep an eye on that. One of the nice things about having the induction type burners is I can take the pans off, and when I do, the burner shuts off on the stove. So that's kind of nice. Now, this is all done as far as the pasta goes. I just have a bowl, and I'm just going to take out the noodles and then put them back in the hot pan so that they stay hot. As far as putting butter in here, I'm going to use this garlic squeeze. I like this a real lot. This is going to taste better than a butter would. And this is a garlic and butter mixed together. So I put a little bit of this in here. Of course, that's cold. It'll be coming out of the refrigerator like that. And then you just take this little blender and you put it in here. Sorry, this is going to be a little noisy. As far as using the food processor, it's better at processing solids than it is liquids. When you're chopping and using olive oil and making pestos and things, it works real well. But you may opt to use a blender after you've chopped dry ingredients. And I have a blender, but this is another one of my favorite products. This is what they call the Bullet. I bought this a long time ago. Once again, I don't work for them. Just right away, so nothing sticks. Turn the heat down, all the way down to simmer. All you want to do is just keep it warm. I have the hot potatoes right out of the oven. They're looking really good. They've been swimming around in that hot butter. I can just kind of stir them up a little bit. So first I pre-salted them and then I microwaved them in hot butter. Sausage is all cooked. Now I can put the Alfredo pasta with it. Notice I'm using a ladle that is slotted so that I'm not drowning it with sauce. You can add a little sauce. Most people reserve a coffee cup or a little bit of a measuring cup of the sauce to put on top. Starting with the bread, I'm going to throw it in the toaster. Onion. Leave the root on left and right hand side. Cut down the center. Then cut on the outside. That'll give you a spot to pull off the outer. Now this is an end with a root, so you literally just roll it off here where it's out of the way. Put this half away, we don't need it. Now, from the root down to the table, vertical slices as wide as you want the onions. I'm doing about 1/4 inch. Then I just cut outside, just kind of shaving it. Of course, I'm not going to use all this because I'm just making a salad. I don't want it to be an onion salad. And probably wouldn't hurt to drop a few in here, huh? Make it good. That's what you do with extra food while you're cooking. You get creative with it. Green onions. Pretty easy. Onions and peppers are strong. Don't use a lot of them when you're making food for other people. You know what you like. Leek. I'm only using part of the leek today. Leek is one of those secret things that people don't know about. Tastes kind of like licorice. I cut my size like I did a cucumber, and then I cut it in half so that I could roll the outside. Tomatoes. I like little cherry tomatoes. I'm just going to grab a few of them per salad. Celery. Gonna need a couple, 2 or 3 stalks, but when I get my order, I cut up some of it in short and long. These are coarse chopped, so I can just fine chop as opposed to coarse or rough chop. I'm going to make my own Italian salad dressing. I'm going to make the basics like I usually do, but of course you can vary this. You can put in Greek yogurt, you can put in some mayonnaise and thicken it up. For today, I'm going to use red wine vinegar, olive oil, Worcestershire sauce, onion powder, garlic powder, and Italian seasoning. Lemon juice. The first ingredient is going to be your vinegar. And I'll put my finger where I want to pour to. I've removed the little spritzing tip out of the top so that I can pour faster. So red wine vinegar up to my finger. Water. Up to the next mark. I got this from my mom. I really like it. Olive oil goes up to the upper mark. Put my thumb there. Worcestershire sauce. Go easy on this. This is like lemon juice. This is strong. I'm using part of a tablespoonful. Just like everything, you can always add more later if you want. Lemon juice. Same thing. Small amount. You can use oregano, basil, or you can just use Italian seasoning. This is Italian seasoning. I just tap it like that so that it loosens it up. And I'm going to put some in my palm. You don't have to really worry about putting in too much of that because that's not real strong. It's not like salt. Garlic powder. Onion powder. Once again, all the measurements are at my website, jamestdds.blogspot.com. While I'm thinking of it, hit the subscribe button right now and the bell so when I drop a new video, you'll get notified. Now that I have the ingredients in the Italian salad dressing, I put the lid on, make sure it's on, put my finger on it, shake it. I'm just going to hit these real fast, kind of like in the center, so you don't really get the garlic butter taste until you get to the center of the toast. Plating things up. This has been simmering, so I can turn this to off. Grab the potatoes, sausage, and pasta. Put it just like that in the plate. So you have your toast, you have your salad, and your main meal. That's our show for today. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button and click the bell so when we drop a new video, you'll get notified. Goodbye for now.